Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to Fantasy Forecast for Thursday, January, is it the 12th? I'm pretty damn sure it's the 12th, 2017. I apologize about that announcement and about not doing a video the day before. I planned on doing a video yesterday. It just got really caught up with me with everything that was going on, and I didn't have a chance. I uploaded a video and I saw that it was going to post after lock times, and I'm like, there's no point in doing a device show like this. So I need to do things a bit earlier and make it a little easier for you. With that said, since there are no results to go over or anything else like that, we'll just move into today's lineup building. Okay, and this is a new format. I'm on the fly. I apologize for that, If you have comments about how I'm doing the new format here, leave it questions below. If you're looking for those cash lineups, send me a message on Twitter. I'll explain everything that's happened, and that's just what's going on. At point guard today, Curry against Detroit. Really? You like that? Okay. I get that Reggie Jackson is a crap defender on the other end, so Curry kind of has a GPP feel to me, but for cash, I'm not looking at that. Bledsoe. Same kind of thing. Against Dallas, okay, great. You got 38 points. Do you think the cashing lines are going to be 285 tonight? If you do, take Bledsoe. If you think they're going to be over 300, then you got an issue. Jackson actually looks better. Faster paced game against Golden State. So I think Jackson can push above his 35 today. I think that's an okay pick. Holiday, though, you're playing the Nets. Is there any other matchup as a DFSer that you want, that you're just screaming for? Give me some, please. I want some more. Thank you. Holiday. Holiday is my first pick above and away. So, and honestly, if you're going to look at a stud kind of value, and what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to try to lock in a couple positions for you guys that you should be considering, and that's about it. I can't give you lineups, it's just not going to work that way, but you can see where I'm targeting. And I love Holiday today. Take me a Holiday. Moving on to the point guard position. We got D'Angelo Russell against San Antonio. Really? San Antonio. It's all about matchups and DVPs and whether they slow the pace down or not. If D'Angelo Russell only takes 13 shots instead of 17, it completely affects his opportunity. That's the whole point of what we're doing here, trying to predict minutes and opportunity and pace. Now, when they get cut, it doesn't make sense to pay them at their prices. As long as these sites aren't willing to adjust, we take advantage. That's the point. Derrick Rose. Okay, now there's one we can stop at and be like, do I like that or not? Rose still got something to prove after his little absence. Did himself an okay performance on the one before, but really against the Chicago JV team, he could excel here. He could thrive. The thing is, do you want to take Carmelo at 7,900 or so, or would you rather take Rose at 61? I'd rather take Rose. It makes a lot more sense. Go cheaper with the exposure on these things if you want to get some exposure into the game, into the matchup and opportunities, especially when the matchup directly derives on a guy like Rose. And that's it. I would be looking at Derrick Rose today. He looks solid to me. Going farther down the position, everyone on Dallas gets a little bit of a bump today. If you're playing against Phoenix, you have to assume the sites haven't adjusted enough. Although they are trying to do it a little bit by game matchup, they still normally don't do it enough. Deron Williams would probably be a $6,200 price if I was pricing FanDuel. But he's at 59, about a 5% discount, and I think you can look at those 5%, 10% discounts on a 6-game slate and try to eke out some opportunity. Going farther down, Carter Williams. Okay, so let's move into Chicago. Chicago is going to be the play of the day, essentially, because if they're going to have Butler out, if they're going to have Mirotic out, Wade is not going to be out. Wade is going to be playing, which is like the triumvirate. You're going to have Wade locked in all your lineups today, and I'll get into that in shooting guard. But other than that, you still have point guard situations to work out and everything else, so what do? Now, Jerian Grant did great in the first half on the last game, but just disappeared in the second half because they gave Rondo a bit of extended run. And the question is, how does Rondo get that run or not? Figuring out the Bulls' minutes is very tricky. You watch the game, you know that Hoiberg absolutely hates Rondo, doesn't want to play him, period. So, and I feel bad for Rondo. That's actually why, Rondo got a chance at some run, and he's like, I'm going to show you guys I can do something with it. And if Rondo gets minutes again, I think he'll do the exact same thing again. I don't think that situation's changed. I think if Rondo gets even just 23, 24 minutes today, he's going to blow people out of the water once again. Do I take that though? No, because I'm scared that he can get 24 minutes of run. In a game where Wade is back, when Wade was absent on the last one, I almost think Hoiberg's looking for anyone that he can play other than him, if that makes sense. I mean, Dry Grant could get 27 minutes of run today and be like, he played well in his first, and it was just a question of him or Rondo really was what Hoiberg was running. And if Grant is just, I think it could be a Grant Wade show. And this will be shocking to people because they'll be like, hey, Valentine was great. And, I can be jumping on Valentine value. I can be jumping on Rondo value. I'm not going to comment so much on Valentine value. I don't think I've hashed out that minute run exactly right, to be quite honest. But I think I've hashed out the Rondo run, and I think that was a bit of a lucky run when he was basically running second string minutes when they had no one running at all. Hoiberg does not want to play him, period. And I can't take that risk in a cash game or a GPP game. If you're not going to have the risk to get that any of those last minute things, you need that run. The more spoken in DFS is, okay, you get 27 minutes of run, you get 34 minutes of run, whatever. But in a blowout, the guy that's getting the 27 minutes of run that you've taken in the second string is running in the end of the fourth quarter. On the flip side, in a close game, the stud that you've taken is running in the end of the fourth quarter. The end of the fourth quarter points are the most critical and most important to any DFSer. And this is something that's not analyzed by anyone else. They don't analyze within the game minutes, but I do. And I can see that these things happen, and you need to pay attention to these little aspects. It's ways to get ahead in DFS. Find your secret sauce. Michael Carter Williams, okay. Rondo, no. And that's it for the point guard position because I'm not getting whole lineups. At the shooting guard, Dwayne Wade. I don't even talk about it because I mentioned it in the last one, which makes this faster. Lock in at shooting guard. You got another choice here? Let's run through them. For your other shooting guard position, Clay. Well, Clay will see the court at the end of a blowout or at the end of a close game, and he'll also see it, the Golden State the Dubs like to run people right at the very end. They'll be up 20 and Durant will be in there with 20 seconds to go. So, predicting minutes makes it easier for them, which is very nice. Clay gets minutes, he gets run, he's scoring dependent. If you think he hits his shots tonight, you win. If you don't think he hits his shots tonight, it's all a question of where that lands. So, in terms of the cash and GBP picks, I don't, if it's questionable one way or the other, I tend to stray off it because when the slates are large enough, we can find picks that aren't that way. But, for GPP pick purposes, and that might be the difference, because GP picks are normally scoring dependent. The point scoring is the largest component of a DFS score. So, if a guy is going to be hot or not, that really does translate to DFS success. God, it's such a light position tonight. KCP against Golden State, I'll be looking at him. I won't be looking at Booker against Dallas. I'll be looking at Wes Matthews with the 5% pace upgrade against Phoenix because there's just not a lot of options tonight. If Davis happened to sit for some reason, I'd be all over Evans. There wouldn't even be a question. That is the lock of the day. But I'm pretty sure he's playing, so that doesn't matter. Now Bobby Hield, I'll be taking Hield today. Cheap enough at 4,200 against the Nets. Heck, even second string sit and run at 25 minutes, he's going to exceed value. That almost looks just, why is he only 4,200 FanDuel? He should be 44 plus. Kilpatrick also looks nice too, especially against the Pels, but I'd be looking more at the Hield value because it's so steady. Now Kilpatrick could be GPP though, because he could run up to 30 points, no problem actually. And if Booker is out, and be watching that, if Booker is out, all overkill today. Valentine, we discussed this in detail. So if you feel like it's secure again, and this is the more question marky of all of them, if you feel like it's secure, run it. If you don't feel like it's secure, then you got to stay away. So take a moment to look at his game logs before you run your lineups today, and then see, is this something I can fade or is this something I can play? Because the industry will be partially on him today. He'll be above 10%, guaranteed. That's it at the shooting guard today. So Wade's your only lock there. Durant, Leonard, Anthony, Barnes. Oh my God. Can I cry? I can flip from 10-3 to 4-5 in one single screen. That's just pathetic. All right. Durant, if you have the extra salary and you're spending up, what else are you going to do? I won't fault you for it. Take it. 45 points looks pretty secure. I can't guarantee more than that, even at the 10-3, but I mean, hey, if it's a choice between a guy at 22, 26, 28, or what, and 45 because you have the salary, take the 45. Leonard, I'd say that looks like 40. The problem is the blowout, obviously. If there's so much risk with San Antonio getting up by 30 and him sitting the fourth against the Lakers. I mean, Randall and Russell and I mean, I'm a Lakers fan and I know this, but unless the Lakers can find a way to hang and those guys can actually hit some of their shots, I mean, it really comes down to actual field goal efficiency. If they can't hit their shots and keep the game close, they lose and it just turns into a bloodbath. If they keep it close, everyone scores in that team and it all does good. Russell does good. Randall does good. Leonard does good. I don't trust that. I want to pass Leonard today too, which leaves you, where the hell do you spend? Because you want to take Carmelo on a fully loaded team now at $8,000. You got Porzingis already running in there and at full strength. You're taking usage. I know Porzingis hasn't been good yet, but he's taking usage, and that's what really matters when we look at DFS. How many shots do you take up? How many opportunities do you have to get into a lane and get a steal? I mean, Harrison Barnes, with a little bit of an upgrade, might be the top choice in terms of a value pick for DFS today at small forward. And that's really rough for me to say. I apologize, but I don't know where else to tell you. Maybe Markieff Morris? Maybe Morris. Golden State, pace upgrade, for that side. I wouldn't be looking at Luol Deng again. With an amazing amount of run in the last game and all the opportunity in the world, I mean, he still barely exceeded value. Bogdo, I would look cheap, and I'll even state out here, because you probably have two cheap places going cheap. And when the position really sucks, that's what you do. You basically want to punt out that position, because escape it cheaply. If you don't get a lot of points in the position, make them up in different positions where there's more opportunity. That's just a standard DFS rule. Bogdo, maybe McDermott, you know what I mean? I'm going to go cheap. But Bogdo looks really secure. You got New Orleans, who also isn't good against the small forward position, even though it's the Nets. And Bogdo's been on a little bit of a run lately. And, he checks all the boxes where I can escape the position with at least that. So I'll be taking in Bogdo today at small forward. And let's move on to power. AD, the brow. Okay, guys. I don't think there's another question across the entire slate that he is the best value far and away. Do you want to take a center against the Knicks? And I know he's listed in power forward, but this is FanDuel. He plays the 5. Really? Look it up. See where they stand. We already know the Nets are going for, I want to be the worst at every single position in fantasy across the board. It's just an industry joke at this point. But you have to and they might reprice a little. I mean, Davis should probably be like 11-1 if they were like on last year's pricing, but now they're starting to adjust for teams a little. He's 11-8. I don't care. He should be 13,000. They're moronic. If Davis isn't in your lineup today, you are asking to lose. I ain't kidding. Now, you'll be watching This is hopefully isn't Derrick Rose. It's the first game on the slate. If he's out, we should know. And if he was out, obviously there are going to be a couple other really key choices that you want to pick up. The biggest one off the slate, I'll just mention right off the bat, Moti. I mean, Moti's come in as the backup center for him, and Moti would probably see, out of the blue, 30, 35 minutes, because Modi's also done well with the little bit of run he's been getting recently. So I would expect Moti to do really well if Davis happens to sit. I don't expect Davis to sit. So if Davis plays, and the forecast expects that, take that. Soak it all the way to the bank. Another 70-point question is not out of the question. And 70? Yeah. 70. Porzingis still playing rather poorly in his last games after coming back, but he's playing against a JV team. If there was an ideal opportunity for a bounce back, here it is. Normally the power forward position sucks. Today, I'm like, you can spend up here and you can walk away safely. I like Porzingis as well. Even Draymond looks okay to me. I mean, you're at 7,800 now. He really is a relatively consistent 38-point fantasy performer. So as long as he gets his run, and it's not a blowout, you're pretty much sitting pretty. Now, Draymond Green is one of the guys, like Durant will be in there in the last 20 seconds. Green will be sitting sometimes. So you do need to watch that. He does get impacted more by the Dubs minute rotations than a couple of the other studs do. Aldridge is in today, which basically fades out all the Aldridge and Leonard value from me today. I think Leonard will be point chasing today. I know it's a tough slate. I know it's against the Lakers, but I got a feeling that Leonard is just going to sit the fourth quarter because they'll be up 20. So if I'm wrong on that and my Lakers hang, then I will hang with that prediction as well, because Aldridge will get another 50 points. But it's going to be dependent on time for him, if he has the opportunity to make his shots and his boards and his blocks. Randall against San Antonio after a bad game, you're going to have to fade and let him get a little cheaper before we start looking at it again. He is a fundamentally sound player, but I wouldn't be taking him today. Harris against Golden State, like it. Upgrade, good. Booker, and I've heard rumors he's going to be out. It looks like he's playing. There's not even a GTD on him at this point. So maybe is what I'm saying there. Look at the game log carefully. I don't have an opinion on that at the moment. Jones, I've mentioned, if Davis is out, that's your other play. Be jumping all over Terrence Jones, no question. I mean, he'll rock the free world his salary if Davis sits today. So Jones, I'd be all over. Sorry about that. And that's about it, the power forward, except for Moti. I mentioned Moti too. Moti will get, because the technical backup center to Davis, he'll get a ton of run as well. So get both those guys if Davis is out. That'll be a really great value stack in. And at the center position, do we have a lock here today? I'm going to try to do a lock for you guys on each one, if I can. No, the slate's so small I don't have a lock at power forward today. Sorry, guys. At center, Drummond, Lopez, Gasol, Chandler, Noah, Lopez. Do you want to kill yourself yet? I know. There's nothing on the board that looks appealing, so in a dearth of unappealing options, Drummond, because you're going to get a pace upgrade and the salary, and if you have the money, just go ahead. Get yourself 35 points. We're not looking for 5x anymore, we're looking for 4x. Drummond, sure. Lopez is the surprise of the day. Guys, it's Brooklyn, yes, I know, but don't forget New Orleans is bad against the center too. Hey, it's Davis that's technically running it, and he's all offense. All offense. He is not defense at all. Bolo is actually in a decent spot today, and I think people are going to be off that. You want a surprise center pick? Take Bolo and be happy with your $7,000 for Brolo. Gasol, I think that one people are going to be on because the Lakers, San Antonio guy is going to get a little bit of a pace upgrade jumping against them. I mean, not a lot at this point, but some. And Gasol has some grudge, obviously, with the Lakes, so it helps in that manner too. Pops will probably give him the run, even in the blowout. I mean, I don't think that he would be the guy that would also sit the fourth as well. It's possible. You never know with Pops. But the 5 is one position that he's seen out in the part of the fourth too. So, Noah, Joakim is viable to me against a GVP too. You need to keep on performing at that consistent level. And now that he's dropped off for a couple games, it's kind of like, well, Noah, can you step it back up? The thing is, like I've said before in these videos, he's my age. So I'm not sure if he can, and I think it's GPP only. I mean, for cash, I wouldn't be touching it. Rolo, perhaps with how bad Chicago is banged up. You have to figure he's going to get at least 27 minutes of run a day. And at only $4,100, pick up a few boards and get a couple steals and you really exceeded value. That's all it comes down to. O'Quinn put up an amazing performance the night before, but I mean, it came on a limited minute run, so you have to wonder if it's going to happen again. I think people will be on him today, and I think we're taking their money today. And that's going to do it for the center position. That's pretty much it. Okay, so you're locked for today at the positions. Holiday at your point guards, Wade at your shooting guard, and Bogdo at your small forward, and those are your only locks for today. Thank you so much for watching Fantasy Forecast. I know this is a new format for everyone. I know you're not getting a lineup. I will change the channel art very soon, and so that it doesn't say free cash lineups anymore. You can watch the announcement video if you're wondering why you're not getting a full lineup. This is about advice and about helping you guys all become better fantasy players, and I hope I explained things about the positions and the day to you. I will try to do more videos in the future that are more comprehensive and knowledgeable about not only just the day that's going on, but also about DFS in general. And I hope I've done a really good job of that today. If you think so, give me a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe for future videos. If you want to contact me on Twitter, I do post updates about player injuries and last minute stuff that you really kind of need to know as a DFS player. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You'll find the link in the description. If you have questions about why I'm not doing lineups anymore, you can contact me there. I take messages and all that stuff, and I'll explain everything to you there. And that's it. That's going to do it for Fantasy Forecast for Thursday, January 12th, 2017. Thank you guys so much for watching again today, and thanks for sharing part of your day with me. I hope you go on out there and use this advice to make some really big money today.